It's time for the shop report with
Barbershop Jay.
What up, sports fans? Welcome to the Shop Report. I'm Barbershop Jay. I'll be your host for the day. Here's what's happening. Of course, as always, we want to remind you the Shop Report is brought to you by Rocket Digital Media. It's the one-stop shop for all your digital marketing needs. You can look them up on Facebook at RDM Detroit, or you can slide on over to the website, rocketdigital.net. That's ROCKIT digital.net. And make sure when you're there, while you're there, you tell them to. Oh, wow. Here comes TJ right in the middle of the doggone intro. You tell him the BSJ sent you. Oh, shout out. I'm glad you showed up today for us, bro. We really appreciate that. And I forgot what's my lines? Can somebody tell me my lines?
You're telling us about who is the sponsor of our wonderful show.
Yeah, no, I was saying that part, but then the speaker for the I don't know the King or whatever the case may be. But anyway, moving right along.
Maybe Dallas made a trade in you
for my folk out there.
Did Dallas make a trade and you got interrupted?
Well, obviously that didn't take long. And for my folk out there in TV land, if you want to leave your questions or comments during today's program, by all means, please do so, and we'll throw it up on the screen. And you all already know what's already understood need not be explained. If you are one of those folks who wants to leave an indignant or ignorant comment, you won't get your 15 minutes of fame here. Matter of fact, this is what you'll get. And with that being said, joining me on the program today is my cat from the NYC, aka Rucker Park, Brother Rich. Oh man, I'm just loving how you just tightrope that bass line out there. And
I'm always happy to be here. What's going on in Dallas this weekend? I heard y'all had some fire.
No, speaking of fire, I was going to ask you about them palm trees. Is them really palm trees? Or y'all got the good, you got Melania out there? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, wow. And on the other side of the pond, we got my man from up north. Did I say that right? Joey James, a.k.a. Double J. Tell the people what you say.
That's right. Wow, it's Saturday, right? We're here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm just making sure.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Look at that. When the job application says, "Can you work weekends and are you flexible?" It wasn't kidding.
Oh, wow. Oh, and I'm glad you mentioned that. I just wanted to let my folk out there. Just wanted to let my folk out there in TV land know that, this is a special edition, so to speak, of the program. I mean, if you're a parent, you got to feel my pain, so to speak. I really don't mean to say it like that. It's not literal, figurative, of course. But my son plays AAU, man, and his schedule is all over the place. And I'm glad he told me 2 days beforehand, but he said he got a game Sunday, whatever the case may be, and I got to be there. And it was going to run into time to doing the show, and I wasn't going to be back in time. So we're bringing you the special edition, Saturday edition of the Shop Report, or should I say the program. And then last but not least, oh boy, my arch nemesis, the world's #1 antagonist, speaker for the King, Kang, I don't know what that slang, TJ, aka Shadow Man. What's happening? Oh, flip flop.
What's up? What's going on with y'all?
Interesting, you use the word slang to describe him. You know, did you see who slung the ball at the rim? I ain't gonna call no name. Somebody slung the ball at the rim and shot an air ball in the closing seconds.
Yeah.
I ain't call no names. I'm just saying a basketball.
I'm just saying somebody felt the pressure, all of that. Don't take the last shot.
Yeah, he was tired, like y'all said about KD.
Oh man, please.
Last year.
Man. No, he wasn't tired. Anyway, yeah.
He was tired.
Yeah, Let's start the show. All right. Up first, we all know what happened, at the Oscars. The slap. Or should I say the slap heard around the world. Look, I got two things I want to say about. Two things. I really wasn't going to talk about this because it's just a bad look to me from all vantage points. And if you go check out what D.L. Hughley said, I'm getting feedback from somebody. Double J, and I'm looking at the icons up here at the top. Yours is not. You see what what's going on. Okay, all right, got you. Check out what D.L. Hughley said about trauma, black man trauma. He did a little short from the GED section. You all need to check that out because I thought it was very poignant and on point what he said about the whole incident. But anyway, after that whole thing took place, I did not see it when it actually happened. I went to social media, of course, and it was all over the place. My gosh, everybody had their opinion about it, obviously. But I saw all the Facebook comments afterwards, and I wondered, why can't we be this outspoken when it comes to educators, teachers in particular, getting fair pay? This is what's bass backwards in the priorities and whatever it is in our society. And again, after seeing the incident on social media, I'm left to wonder, how did it make my life better or make me a better person? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, I'm sitting here trying to figure out what the deal was with that. But let me read to you all something. The one thing that I saw in response to what happened or what took place, something that Kareem Abdul-Jabbar said, if you bear with me here. And it's kind of lengthy, but I will, of course, read it to you all. You know how I do. When Will Smith, what'd you say?
No, I said, of course we do.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Come on, man. He didn't even deserve that. Now relax. He did.
Okay, so we 5 minutes in, and guess what? Do your dance. Yeah, now you're on Double J's team.
From Play School.
Yeah, get on out of here, man.
Oh, hell no.
Anyway, this is what Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had to say about the incident. When Will Smith stormed onto the Oscar stage to strike Chris Rock for making a joke about his wife's short hair, he did a lot more damage than just to Rock's face. With a single petulant blow, he advocated violence, diminished women, insulted the entertainment industry, and perpetuated stereotypes about the Black community. That's a lot to unpack. Let's start with the facts. Rock made a reference to Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, obviously, as looking like Demi Moore in G.I. Jane, in which Moore had shaved her head. Jada suffers from alopecia, which causes hair loss. Okay, I can see where the Smiths might not have found that joke funny, but Hollywood award shows are traditionally a venue where much worse things have been said about celebrities as a means of downplaying the fact that it's basically a gathering of multimillionaires giving each other awards to boost business so they can make even more money. The Smiths could have reacted by politely laughing along with the joke or by glowering angrily. I don't know how I don't even know what they're saying there. Oh, okay. I guess he's saying.
Sound it out.
Oh, hell no.
Glowering angrily at Rock. Raise your hand, man. Instead, Smith felt the need to get up in front of his industry peers and millions of people around the world, hit another man, then return to his seat to bellow, keep my wife's name out your mouth, twice. Some have romanticized Smith's actions as that of a loving husband defending his wife. Comedian Tiffany Haddish, who starred in the movie Girls Trip with Pinkett Smith, praised Smith's actions. For me, it was the most beautiful thing I've ever seen because it made me believe that there are still men out there that love and care about their women, their wives. Actually, it was the opposite, Kareem said. Smith's slap was also a slap to women. TJ, where'd you go? Oh, okay. If Rock had physically attacked Pinkett Smith, Smith's intervention would have been welcome. Or if he'd remained in his seat and yelled his post-slap threat, that would have been unnecessary, but understandable. But by hitting Rock, he announced that his wife was incapable of defending herself. Man, hold on, bear with me, y'all. What this dude right here? Okay. Excuse me. But by hitting Rock, he announced that his wife was incapable of defending herself against words. From everything I'd seen of Pinkett Smith over the years, she's a very capable, tough, smart woman who can single-handedly take on a lame joke at the Academy Awards. Red Table Talk, right? This patronizing paternal attitude Oh boy, wow! I'm really having a bad day. Yeah, let me get myself a button here.
Hey, we need to start popcorn reading this. Help him out a little bit.
And reduces them to helpless damsels needing a big, strong man to defend their honor, lest they swoon from the vapors. If he was really doing it for his wife and not his own need to prove himself, he might have thought about the negative attention this brought on them, much harsher than the benign joke. That would have been truly defending and respecting her. This woman need men to defend them is the same, excuse me, the same justification currently being proclaimed by the conservative passing laws to restrict abortion and the LGBTQ community. Excuse me. Worse than the slap was Smith's tearful, self-serving acceptance speech in which he rambled on about all the women in the movie King Richard that he's protected. Those who protect don't brag about it in front of 15 million people. They just do it and shut up. You don't do it as a movie promotion claiming how you're like the character you just won an award portraying. But, of course, the speech was about justifying his violence. Apparently, so many people need Smith's protection that occasionally it gets too much and someone needs to be smacked. What is the legacy of Smith's violence? He brought back the toxic bro ideal of embracing Cobra Kai teachings of might makes right and talk is for losers. Let's not forget that this macho John Wayne philosophy was expressed in 2 movies in which Wayne spanked grown women to teach them a lesson. Young boys, especially black boys, watching their movie idol not just hit another man over a joke, but then justify it as him being a superhero-like protector, are now much more prone to follow in his childish footsteps. Perhaps the saddest confirmation of this is the tweet from Smith's child, Jaden. And that's how we do it. I didn't know that. The black community also takes a direct hit from Smith. One of the main talking points from those supporting the systemic racism in America is characterizing blacks as more prone to violence and less able to control their emotions. Smith just gave comfort to the enemy by providing them with the perfect optics they were dreaming of. Many will be reinvigorated to continue their campaign to marginalize African Americans and others through voter suppression campaign. As for the damage to show business, Smith's violence is an implied threat to all comedians who now have to worry that an edgy or an insulting joke might be met with violence. Good thing Don Rickles, Bill Burr, or Ricky Gervais weren't there. As comedian Kathy Griffin tweeted, now we all have to worry about who wants to be the next Will Smith in comedy clubs and theaters. The one bright note is that Chris Rock, clearly stunned, managed to handle the moment with grace and maturity. If only Smith's acceptance speech had shown similar grace and maturity and included, instead of self-aggrandizing excuses, a heartfelt apology to Rock. Double J, what say you?
Oh, there's a lot to unpack here because we've seen different stances. I've seen folks say, if you don't go and slap him, then I don't want you. I've seen takes like what you just read. The unfortunate truth is this guy has been put through the ringer, and some, with the limited psychology and courses I've taken, I see a very damaged individual that feels that he needs to protect people when in his own home, he couldn't protect the person that, he really spent his entire life chasing, right? Before it was August Alsina, it was Tupac. It was he's never been good enough in his own home, and he deflects with comedy and now this machismo type of thing that he's doing now. And you see, again, the kids have gone, and I get it. Everybody's kid is their own individual, but some of those decisions certainly have, again, only furthered that kind of profile, and it's ultimately a disappointment because it's pushed him so far that now he's losing things that he spent very much his entire life attempting. He went from fighting to get out of poverty in Philadelphia to now he's going to have to fight to get back in to Hollywood. from an acceptance standpoint because he resigned from, I believe, the Screenwriters Guild.
Yeah, something.
And
like
the
that,
Motion Picture Academy.
Yeah,
yeah.
And so, once as the frustrating part for me is again when you think of '90s Fresh Prince, and I've even seen memes from Uncle Phil's looking at him with that look. You almost, he got lost in the moment. And when you see he was laughing at the same joke from different camera angles,
initially
she was laughing at it initially, and then she gave him a look. Go do something. Or this is why. There was so much that could be read between the lines based off the look. We all know, our significant others and the looks that they give, that again, a look is worth 1,000 words. And so he did what he did, and unfortunately here he's gonna have to suffer the consequences. I don't know. I know he can recover from it, but historically, this is not the first time he slapped somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a history with some of these things too, but it's ultimately unfortunate because it's a bad look with some of the things that you already emphasized in that article of, it doesn't matter if it's me looking up to him or any 8-year-old. He now portrays a profile or just general things that society was waiting for, and now he gave it to him. So it's just disappointing.
Yeah, TJ, what say you?
I got a different take. Although I don't agree with his rebuttal to the joke, I can't blame him for how he reacted. Now, it's some comedians who say a lot of things that a lot of viewers do not like at all, and people been saying like, "Hey, you got to watch what you got to say." We live in that time right now where, like with Dave Chappelle, who talks about trans community, the gay people and all this. I wouldn't be surprised if a gay person or a trans person walked up on him and punched him in the eye for some of the jokes he says. You just gotta, even though you're a comedian, it's still some of the things you say hurt people. And y'all say he was laughing. Well, yeah, a lot of times I done heard a joke and I laugh, but sometimes it hurt underneath. So and his wife, when you looked at her face, she was looked like she was ready to cry. That wasn't the first joke of the night on her. So he was like, all right. And that definitely wasn't the first time Chris Rock went at her.
But let me point this part out that was ultimately discovered. Remember, the premise to the joke was Jada, I love you. He knew, that being Chris Rock knew when he looked at that prompter what it said to say, and he likely also knew about her condition. I don't know publicly if it said or not. But remember, he didn't write the joke.
Yeah, he didn't have to. I'm with you. And that's a good point. But he didn't write the joke. But you could. But he had control over whether or not. If he said, "I'm not going to say that," he could have said, "I'm not going to say that." Write something else or whatever it is.
You're paid on a program.
I was going to say no. I wouldn't say
that. So they write the joke.
I don't say that. He has to say that. If you say I won't say that, whatever he got paid and whatever his perks, he's going to lose that. He'll be in worse trouble because they'll see him. That they write the scripts for them. Everything they say is written for them. Somebody tells them, "Go say this."
Yeah, well, I know. I know when you're reading the teleprompter. Go ahead, finish, TJ. What were you saying?
He was not the host, so they even write for the presenters.
Facts, absolute facts. They read a card. That's why you see them have a card there.
Oh no, I know they got the card to do the nominees, but that sounds like a joke. He came up with himself. Like I don't think that was off the prompt. Because Will knows
come out.
If that's true.
You're correct. The guy who wrote the joke came out and admitted he wrote the joke. He wrote the joke. He admitted that Hollywood has admitted it was a written joke for him. He said what was written on the paper and on the prompter. Yes.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. The only paraphrasing is him giving that premise.
Hold on. One at a time. Go ahead. Hold on. One at a time. Go ahead. Finish, TJ, so we can let Brother Rich weigh in.
Because So you're telling me they wrote that joke, right? And they're not responsible for none of the backlash. These other people, so they would never be brought up in this situation. That just don't add up. Like they would.
It does historically.
Hold on, one at a time.
No. But historic, like right now, everybody would have been like involved. They would have got everybody involved with it. They don't leave people out when stuff like this gets out. My bad.
I think you're not understanding.
Go ahead, Brother Rich. Go ahead.
I understand, but
no. Let me tell you something about the industry. I think you're not understanding how Hollywood works. The pressure that's on them. These people are in front of the world. They're controlled in what they have to say, where they have to say it, how they have to say it. Every element of what they do is controlled. Okay. That's why there are people that were wondering, was this fake? Was it a setup? Because it's so controlled. They're in such a controlled environment. So the people who looked at it like they were stunned because they don't expect anything like that at all. But here's the thing, as you read that to us, Barbershop, I don't like to find myself often to be in the same company with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, but I certainly am not in the same company with Tiffany Haddish. So I'm somewhere in the middle in this regard. Not knowing those people's personal lives, not knowing the backstory to anything about their relationship or her health condition or how close Chris Rock and that family are or are not, I'll say it like this. Certainly, he has a right to defend his wife's honor. And what we said, so some of a buddy that had the conversation with me said to me, what he should have done is, yeah, baby, I'm going to handle that. But at the next break, after the camera stops, you go and you pull Chris Rock to the side and you say, hey, I don't like that joke. Jay didn't like that. That don't feel good. And if we
got you.
Now you need to go back out there and correct that next time you're out there. You need to just impromptu say something. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
Now we telling you, go out, we go out here and take this on yourself to say, hey, Jada, I didn't mean that. It was written for me.
Hey, Rich.
What?
How many times you think he did that and the joke's still coming? You think he never just said anything to nobody about these?
Of course he has. Let me tell you something about Chris Rock. Chris Rock been in trouble with a lot of people.
Not Chris Rock. I'm talking about Will. How many times you think he probably DM'd or called somebody and say, listen, man, I don't really like the jokes you've been saying about my wife. I think he told Chris Rock the first time in 2016.
Well, he probably did. This is why people are saying there's a backstory to this. Nevertheless, look at what we're talking about. The end result of what he did in that moment is going to cost him money, prestige. So he got to rebuild himself now.
A little stature too, maybe.
But it took down his stature, you know? And so
let me ask you, Rich. Yes. So y'all literally think that smack is stopping him from making
No, I don't think that at all. I don't think that what we're talking about is what has already happened. He had to resign from the Motion Picture Academy. He had to resign from the Screenwriters Guild. So I hate to, no, I don't hate to use it because that's who runs Hollywood. White people want to punish a young black man like that who has achieved a certain measure of success, who picks the biggest knife in their social to go and, as they see it, act like a you know what.
Hey, Rich.
And so that's what some of the conversation you hear people talking about.
Hey, Rich.
They end up the Academy Awards.
I don't think they really wanted to punish him, but to avoid facing backlash, I think they have to. I think Hollywood love Will Smith, man.
No,
it's like a O.J. Simpson thing. Like before he, they love Will Smith.
Wait. But where did all them go after all that went down?
Hold on. Let me weigh in on that.
I was gonna say they don't love nobody.
Listen,
he's not black.
They love what you can do for you.
Hey, and I listen, and I'm gonna make the reference. Different situation, but the premise is the same. How many people you know love LeBron? They love LeBron until that lady came out and said, just shut up and dribble. They love you until you get out of what they think is out of pocket.
That's a bad example.
How is that a bad example?
Hang on. Well, you could bring up Dave Chappelle.
Fact.
How is that a bad example? What I'm saying to you,
I'm gonna get to both of y'all. That's a bad example because what changed? They stopped like a LeBron when he left Cleveland. It wasn't because of that lady.
Hey, Mike, hold on, TJ. Mike, we appreciate the comment on the less on profanity side, but yeah, we with you on that. Oh, we got a couple of them here. But go ahead, TJ. We'll get to the rest of the comments here in a second. Go ahead, TJ. Finish.
I'm saying LeBron became the enemy when he left Cleveland. Let's be clear. Dave Chappelle, what are you saying about him, Double J?
When he opted to not go when he disappeared for a while and didn't renew the Chappelle show because of the things that they wanted him to do, and he was on Oprah, and she was like, "Why did you walk away from $50 million?" Because of the additional actions and things that they were asking him to do. It's as simple as that. So Chris Rock is no different.
So I'm getting feedback from on somebody's end. It's not loud, but it's there. It might be you, TJ. I need y'all to check y'all's volume. But let me say this to you, man. I'm speaking in a figurative sense. Okay, what I'm saying to you is, it's about control. Okay, at the end of the day, you can go back as far as you want to since you start watching television. There's an instance. Like with Kobe, for instance, they loved Kobe until he did that, whatever he did. Whether you think he did it or not, that's not the issue.
Those allegations are much more serious, though.
But it don't matter the degree. In other words, stay in your place. That's what they tell you.
What Kobe did.
Allegedly alleged to have done.
Listen, okay.
Those allegations are,
you're looking at it literally. What I'm saying to you is there's a certain degree of, as long as you're doing what we'd like for you that we okay with, then we okay with. But if you do something that we not okay with, we're not gonna never pass up a chance to remind you that you is okay. Go listen to the album Black on Both Sides by Mos Def, and he got a song on there called Mr. Ninja. Go listen to that song. That cut is relevant then, now, and tomorrow.
Right, but again, what we're referring to, TJ, you got to remember, this is also an individual that boycotted that same award show that he now just went and probably will never be invited to again.
Right.
Possibly, yeah, possibly.
There's no way. Again, because of the response. Look, we could be honest and be like, nobody was watching the award show. Hold on.
Hold on. Oh, my aunt Dorothy weighed in. Shout out, Dada. Yeah, all right. We appreciate that. We appreciate you for weighing in. Let's get to some of these comments. I didn't mean to cut you off, Double J. Mike, all right, he didn't defend no honor. He looked like a clown on stage assaulting a comedian.
There's some truth to that. There's some merit to that. It cost him problems. That wasn't because we have to all be honest.
I can't believe you guys are actually talking about Will defending his trashy wife. She had no class. She had no right to have Will do that.
Again, we agree, but here's the thing.
Yeah, Mike, you got to. Yeah, but Mike, that's what we're saying here. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're saying here.
If he want to defend her, no matter what she is, that's on him. But there's a way to do it that would not have cost him this kind of blowback. Yes.
Yeah. My aunt weighing in again. Awesome. We appreciate that. Yeah.
But I think what Double J said has to be taken under consideration, because Will is under a lot of pressure because, again, his wife has publicly been embarrassing their entire relationship. It is a well-known thing that she does not respect him in the way that you would anticipate that he would be respected, all things considered, the life he gave her, who he is, who they are, the family,
right.
But protect their family structure. But when a woman introduces the whole world to a new word, which we all use now, entanglements in one way or another, and everybody knows it's talking about that young lady, certainly we know. But nevertheless, if that's what Will chooses and that's who he wants and he loves that woman and he want to be with her, that's on him. Do you? Nevertheless, we are just saying there was a better way to do that. Defend your wife. If you want to do that, by all means, defend your wife. But there's a better way to do that.
Yeah, Mike, nobody's saying, I don't think anybody here is suggesting that Will has to slap every comedian who jokes on Jada. Nope. Because it was when Def Comedy Jam was out, Bernie Mac and all them dudes and Robin Harris, they said some, my goodness, they said some stuff that was really off the wall. Nobody's saying that. But I like what Brother Rich said, that he said his cat said to him. When the Oscars is almost, well, I don't like using the word almost, but the Oscars is akin to like the Olympics, so to speak. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's watched, and it ain't just watched in America, it's watched worldwide, if I'm saying that right.
Absolutely correct.
You see what I mean? So for that to happen, like Brother Rich said, people were shocked and stunned, like, wait a minute, is this, and it's so controlled, is this an act? Is this for real? You know what I'm saying? It was all of like, whoa type of moment. I don't know if you would use the term or word decorum in this instance, But I like what Brother Rich's dude said to him. When the cameras are off, go to him and say, "Hey, man, we wasn't feeling that."
Right.
Listen, I'd like for the people that's weighing in, tell me how that would not have been the best option, please.
Because I'm still defending her, and she knows I'm defending her because she's present, or she know I'm handling this for her. Nevertheless, I didn't do it in front of 15 million people, embarrass myself, get denigrated by all these hypocrites, because all these people judging him.
Let me ask y'all something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jada simply does not respect Will. Geez, what a shame. Will a straight beta.
Fact.
Yeah, we will now have a deluge of jokes about his wife. Every comedian is going to clown Jada. She's done. See, and again, the outspokenness or the comments that flowed on Facebook in regard, we wouldn't see none of that.
Right.
Had he went ahead after during a commercial break, if he'd have said, "Look, man," pulled him to the side like, "Hey, man," since they at one point in time they was boys, they was close. You know what I'm saying? If we was close once upon a time, I should be able to close enough to say, "Hey, look, man, hey, man, come on, man, come on back." When we come back, man, just like Brother Rich said, do some impromptu. You know what I'm saying? And then let's keep it moving. Hold on, Mike weighing in again. Will's officially a joke. He had respect prior to doing this. I guess. I don't know. Like I said, you wouldn't see none of this.
Look, guys, let's be in the case of Jada, the only relevancy she's had is by putting her family in front of the camera and degrading them. That is the only way she garnered any type of social acceptance and reach in these last.
What does this incident have to do with anything that happened that night?
Well, because she was willing to go and let the world in on
but didn't she not do that already though, Double J, with the red table talk thing?
Right, but it's continued.
Oh, okay.
And so then
that gives people a license to just have a free for all jokes on their marriage and their family.
No, but but that wasn't it. Remember, hold on. Go ahead, TJ. What you saying?
Because if I tell y'all something, each one of y'all, right, and then y'all we meet somewhere socially, and then y'all go and joke about what I told you, how would you respond? If you say if I got a wife, right? Hold that
thought. We got a special guest, man. Oh my gosh.
Whoa.
The Buffalo Bills.
No. You see it? You see it?
Gully joining us on the P-Rogram. What
up? Wow. How are you?
What's up? What it do?
How's the weather in Buffalo, my man?
You see the hashtag? See, we already got it out the way. So that way you can see it first. You can see it before you say it.
Yeah, tell him again, D Gully. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give him a button.
Oh, hell no.
Nobody got, matter of fact,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Absolutely.
Gully, we appreciate you joining the P-Rogram, man, making a special appearance, man. This is the guy, man. Hey, listen, for real, man. Let me give him another round.
I appreciate you. Real quick. I just want to say thank you for the special time here. I know my man speaking for the king was mid quote, and I don't want to take any of his thunder right now. So I just want to say I thank you for the opportunities thus far, and I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and get back to it. And I got something for you, especially you, Brother Rich. Don't worry about it.
I'm sure you do.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, TJ, go ahead, TJ. Finish your thought, and then
we're gonna go. Hey, thanks, D Gully. Go ahead and play that My Buddy for me and my boy D Gully one time. I appreciate that. Hey, he can't. Hey, I respect that. Anyway, what I was saying was, say if I tell you guys something privately, right? You or everybody on the panel, and then we go somewhere together. We ain't got to go together. We just somewhere socially, and then y'all joke about it. How should I respond if I? But
we're not comedians.
DJ, there wasn't private. You told you said it on this live right now. A secret. You were saying, hey, it's TJ, and I'm in, and then we got together personally, and then we brought it up again. Then you want to swing? You see what I'm saying? Like, come on, man.
Listen. So this is another way to spin this, right? What if she
moving the goalpost?
I could move it, but this is the same.
You already moved it.
But listen.
Well, go ahead.
What if she had cancer and he went up there and joked about it?
You saying
what? No, I'm asking. Don't get mad, but answer the question.
No.
Answer the question. Don't try to.
Hold on. I'm getting ready to. Hold on, Brother Rich. Hold on, Brother Rich. Thank.
It wouldn't do that.
You saying what if? Throw that out.
See, I'm not talking to Barbershop Jay. He never answered these. I'm asking.
I'm getting ready to
everybody else.
But he didn't say that. We only going off what actually was said.
It's something this personal with her that she probably cry in his arms about at home.
Okay, so let me ask you this: the people that wrote the joke, you don't think that they knew she had alopecia?
I really don't believe that. That right there, I don't believe right there. I'm gonna be honest.
Okay, listen, we're gonna.
I don't believe that somebody wrote that joke.
TJ, do your Googles. They're not hiding this. Do your Googles. Just Google who wrote the joke.
And I don't believe somebody wrote it, bro. They trying to get him out of that. No, he wrote that joke. He ain't even write it. He said that joke.
Okay, he's saying that even though the people that wrote it said that they wrote it.
Let me say something.
Look, we can't.
After he got smacked,
I understand why you believe LeBron is the GOAT. Absent.
Wait. No. Hold on.
Let's go. Hold on. We're gonna go to a commercial break right quick. All right. Well, when we come back, we're gonna let D Gully weigh in. TJ, you ain't got to do that, man, because people are in disagreement with what you're saying. That's why it's an opinion. Oh.
I'm saying after I had to finish the whole statement because after he got smacked, he said, "Oh, I can't. Y'all do me off."
He said it was. It's not a bad one. It's not a bad one. That's what he said before Mr. Smith took the stage.
Yeah, hold on. We're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back in 30. Don't y'all touch that dial.
SK Cunningham, you watching the Shop Report.
Touch that dial. Stay tuned.
Hey, I'm Billy Butler, and thank you for watching the Shop Report. Hey, guys, I'm Les Norman, former Kansas City Royal, and you're watching the Shop Report.
Commander Brown, Detroit Rivers Mountain Training, and I'm watching the Shop Report.
Barbershop Jay, Quentin Hines, Super Bowl champion. I'm ready. Let's do it. I'm on.
All right, we back. All right, my man D Gully, go ahead. The floor is yours, man.
Okay. In defense of whether that joke was written by Chris or not, I referenced 2 years ago the Golden Globe Awards, another award show for actors. The host was Ricky Gervais. I don't know if you guys maybe taking a look at the Double J. You probably familiar with it. He hit that entire audience very hard about how they apologized for Harvey Weinstein. When I say apologize, they explained away. He talked about them getting religious, using that opportunity to get their awards, to self-promote themselves about social justice and stuff like that. He hit them hard about sex abuse. Again, Harvey Weinstein talked about Jeffrey Epstein. Point is, every joke that he said, he read from a teleprompter. So regardless of who wrote it,
hold on, TJ, let him finish.
Irrespective of who wrote it, everybody, including Chris, knew it was there. Now, those saying that they wrote the joke for him or whatnot are probably trying to maybe take some of that off, taking some of that weight off of his shoulders, so that way maybe people who felt offended by the joke don't just blame Chris. But the point is, like you say, barbershop, if the house is being built, while the house was being built, somebody was buying
furniture.
Go ahead.
Now, I quote, the Academy told Rolling Stone Monday that Chris Rock G.I. Jane 2 joke was off script. I'm reading this right now.
So that means he said it.
Huh?
So that means he wrote it, he said it himself.
It wasn't right. He just freestyle
we believe you if you're reading that, because initially they came out and said a guy came out and said they wrote it. It was not. It was in the script. That they wrote it for him.
That's what I'm saying. So who lying? You know what I'm saying?
That don't even sound like something they would joke about. Like they make corny jokes.
The point is, it's irrelevant who wrote it.
Fact. He said
the relevance of who wrote it is I think them saying that is probably them being
trying to
late.
put out the fire, so to speak. Damage control.
Not only that,
okay.
but being late. I don't know how you guys discussed this at first because I've got a lot of thoughts on it.
Okay.
Those guys saying that they wrote the joke or whatever else is the Academy's way of being late to come and see about Chris.
Yep.
Oh.
That's what it was. They're doing anything they can to say to try to come after. Yeah, and that's what happened, because what happened was, in my opinion, I don't know that I'm not an expert on Will Smith and Will Smith's psychology, but I will say I'm fresh off of reading his autobiography, and I had just completed reading that like 2 weeks ago. So before the awards, a lot of layers here were exposed, and if anybody has read the autobiography, but particularly when he talked about him going to high school, there is a tragic irony to what happened on Sunday compared to him once upon a time being a person to tell a joke that was offensive and somebody doing something about it. Life imitates art, art imitates life, but it was a tragic irony. What I will say about this, I'm acutely aware of being in somebody like Chris Rock's position of you're not known as a tough guy. You get smacked across the face in front of millions by somebody who, irrespective of whoever that somebody is, you get smacked across the face in front of millions as a black man. What do you do in the very instant of being smacked across the face in front of millions?
Hold on, Double J.
What position what position do you have to take? I don't know. But Double J, he's really got something to say about this.
Go ahead, Double J. What you gonna say?
This is the same person who sat on a couch with Jerry Seinfeld and
they were saying the N word.
That's right. And
I know where you're going.
I struggle to. That's Chris Rock.
See?
Hold on. Say again. Did what now?
So he was
with some comedians.
Yep, with some comedians. Jerry Seinfeld being one.
Okay.
Basically, one of them openly said, "Hey, I used this word," and went right ahead and threw it out there.
Okay.
With the hard R and all.
The hard R.
Okay.
And the individual on the other side was a British comedian. And he goes, "Oh, you're going to pretend that Chris is like, well, I use it, and naturally, right?" And the British comedian goes, "No, I haven't, as far as using it on stage or in material." And he goes, "Well, yeah, you're going to pretend that you don't say it behind closed doors." And at this point, everyone is laughing except for Jerry Seinfeld.
Did that entire exchange end with somebody getting hit across the face?
No, and it should have, or at least furniture thrown. Okay, but instead, it was. So the guy ends up saying, "Hey, you haven't found the comedy in using the word." And again, Rock is laughing, but Jerry Seinfeld says, "No, I haven't, and I don't believe I ever will, or I don't intend to."
Got you.
But it was it told me everything I needed to know about that the puppet strings being pulled. So I'm not to your point here about what was being said. We already know who he is as a person and what he's willing to put up with, or it just I don't know.
Or to go along.
I see what you're saying. I can understand another aspect of Chris Rock's character, but what I'm talking about specifically is you've been smacked across the face. Okay, if in that discussion you described, is somebody freely using a word?
You tell me which is worse.
That's what I'm about to ask
I'll tell you right now which is worse to me.
And I'm about to ask you
the only thing that would have been thrown is furniture in the other set of circumstances.
Well, why?
But hold on, let me say this. Let me weigh in on. Let me say this. I got a situation. My mother and I were at a store once, and a guy said that to her. We were taking too long in line, I guess, or something, or whatever it is. And the guy said, I wish you would get out the way, whatever the case may be. And my mother laughed at the guy. And I was ready to, I'm like, what? She said, listen, I'm gonna tell you something your grandfather told me. She said, that word is not who you are. That word is a state of mind. She said, the dog barks at the moon, but the moon shows no indication of being disturbed. She said, when people call you that, they're calling you that. That's a connotation that they've given to you, and they want that kind of reaction out of you. She said, you don't give them that reaction because you know that ain't what you are. You know that's not what you are.
I mean, barbershop. So,
what?
With all due respect to your mom, or you say your grandma or your mom?
My mother.
Just imagine somebody just saying that to you, though, like to urge.
Listen, but guess what though? But listen, I'm educated, I'm articulate, I'm intelligent, I'm all of that. You can, man, I'm not overreacting to that bull crap.
I am. Listen, I'm gonna tell you that now.
Hey,
you ain't about to disrespect me in my face.
Okay, listen, but listen, that's just it though. Listen, but are you
it's
that?
It's gonna be more than furniture through a
Are
round.
you that?
It don't matter if I'm that. You can't
call
me a B. You can't call me a H. You can't call me an N. You can't do nothing disrespectful.
Man, like I said, the dog barks at the moon, but the moon shows no indication to be disturbed. If you really want to
the moon, and neither the dog or the moon is that the dog ain't biting the moon, and the moon is not but mooning.
Thank you.
Okay, but the point is, if you when you talk about the slap, that's when I'm gonna get with you.
So that's what I'm saying. So
put your hands on me, that's a whole different story.
Right. So
how did you want him to react? How did you want him to react? To ruin the show? To start throwing balls, trading balls down there?
When he got slapped.
They would have loved that.
My point is, and listen to the conversation after. How many people? What did Shannon Sharp say about it? Oh, it wouldn't have been me. Has if something was wrong with Chris Rock for taking that?
And that's why they really mad. That's why they really mad, because he didn't defend himself.
That's my point. Did he? And that's my point. That is the that.
Got another comment here. Randall
B
guy. Chris Rock reacted the way he should have. Okay.
Right. But that's the point. He reacted in a way that millions of us, especially being black men, probably say, man, that wouldn't have been me, or he a better one than me. To note that there's something wrong with taking that L.
Rando B guy weighing in. Oh, that's Doc. Oh man, we forgot to give Doc a shout out. Happy birthday to my man Doc. Happy birthday to my man. Yeah, it's Doc, man.
Happy birthday, man.
Yeah, Doc. He said that slap wasn't worth ruining his career. Slap me now, and we can settle up after. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. I mean that's fine. It's your boy Doc. Yeah, we got you. Yeah, my bad, Doc. Yeah. My bad.
Birthday too.
No, he it's his birthday, man. He doing his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah,
I mean, my goodness. Go ahead, Gully, finish.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So to wrap up, I just feel like that put Chris Rock in a very precarious position, and one that he had to kind of relive, because he's talked about being robbed before. He's talked about the fact that it hasn't been public. It hasn't been as public as Will Smith's identity with being struggling with the identity of being, let's say, if not a beta male, but not being an assertive. You don't think that you okay, for example, comedians that we don't think would have taken that, right? Definitely Dave Chappelle, definitely Cat Williams, of course, right?
He wasn't walking up to Cat Williams like
he really started the problem, right? Cat Williams would have probably swung first, and that'd have been the end of the show, right? But the idea is you don't see that, right? And you have somebody who has to deal again with, hey man, I'm not a dominant, assertive person, and it's come back to haunt me. Because I'm 57 years old and I had to take that L on television. Because I took an L, so to speak. People got to coax me into thinking, oh yeah, you did the right thing. But that ain't the way any of us felt. Right. Like, how would we have felt? Like, you know what I mean? And it's interesting that it took another beta male type like Will Smith to do that. That's really was really so disturbing and upsetting to me about what Will Smith did, especially in that.
What y'all think about Samuel L. Jackson dapping him up after he did it?
He was reacting to what he heard. That's a person that definitely understood Will's instinct at wanting to defend his wife without maybe having an appreciation for the whole dynamic of the whole situation. Like, you know what I mean?
He at that moment thought he was Tupac and what Tupac would do.
It's interesting that you said that.
At the end of the day, I like what Brother Rich said. I like what Brother Rich said from day one. And shout out to your cat, Brother Rich. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could bring him on the P-Rogram. That would have been, like I said, decorum is the only word I could find right now in this instance. But hey man, when the commercials go, because you know everybody watching, and you know it's going to be a reaction, especially in this day and age of social media and how quick things fly, whatever the case may be. Man, you go to a commercial and be like, look, man, dog. And you can say whatever you want to say in that moment. Where the whole world is not watching. You feel what I'm saying? And then when you come back, man, that way Chris Rock ain't got his feelings hurt, so to speak. He ain't got to defend it. And he could come back and say, hey, man, you know, the joke I made. Or he can even make a joke about how Will came up to him during the break or whatever the case may be. He's intelligent enough to come up with something since he was so impromptu. He could have impromptuized, if that's a word. I'm using it here. You know what I'm saying? When he came back from break. And then everything would have been everything. And then we don't have this one side versus the other side. I just, at the end of the day, man, the display was just foul in every which way. Let's move on with the show. I appreciate y'all weighing in.
I got a question.
Oh, what's your question, guys?
I got a question. I was looking on my screen here. Brother Rich, what's wrong with your Lakers hoodie that you have on?
That's not a Lakers hoodie. No, that's a Clippers.
Oh, okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
That's what's wrong with the Bills Mafia. Y'all can't read.
No,
I think it's the Super Bowl this way. Y'all go
see, I mean, 2 years ago, I thought that was purple and gold. It might have been a filter.
Ironically, the Bills and the Clippers got the same colors. They both blue.
But they're not the same team.
Wow.
They're not the same team and they're not in the same location.
Okay, yeah. Right, got you.
But
Lakers,
they both got the same amount of public funding.
Ales.
All right, let's get to some NFL news. Now, you know, all I got here is the overtime rule change. I think it stinks, but I'm not the only one.
Oh, of course you do.
Of course.
Come on, old man.
Hey, listen, hold. I'm not the only one. Please, come on. Y'all watch more sports TV than I do. So you can turn on any channel right now in the aftermath. Swagoo, Ryan Clark, all these there's a lot of former players. They don't like it either. Listen, you turn on, hey, Dog Pound Daily, turn on any talk show, radio or otherwise. Yeah, they saying the same thing. They said, listen, ooh-hoo, everybody gets a chance. Boo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Hey, like my man Will Freer said, that's a bunch. I'm not going to even say what he said exactly, but it's a load of crap. Hey, handle your business and regulation. But let me read this to you.
But that would apply to both teams. Don't. You're
like I said, I went back.
Oh my gosh,
You're taking the advantage away from both teams. No advantage.
I went back and looked at that. Go back and look at the KC Cincinnati game in overtime. Cincinnati played defense when Mahomes threw that interception, and then Joe Burrow and them went down there.
That's
both
one
teams
case.
No, listen.
And 78% of the time, it was the first team to get the ball.
Whoa,
my gosh!
Hold on. Is this before the first overtime change that happened when everybody's favorite quarterback didn't get the ball again?
Thank you. But at the end of the day, they changing the rules.
I'm talking about the Saints Vikings playoff game that ended. Yeah. Right now,
okay.
That just piles on at this point.
Yeah, got you.
At the end of the day, on top.
Why you don't want the game to be even all around though? That's what
it's not even. This is catered to. This is catered to FanDuel and DraftKings, man.
Give a team a half point then.
Who you think it's catered to? I don't want my
please, man. This is another rule. This is another rule change that is catered to offense. Period.
How is it?
What? It's actually the opposite.
No, it's not.
Your coin flip is catered to the offense.
Man, stop. Right. Go ahead, Gully. Man, cut me in and cut it out. Go ahead, Gully.
You sound crazy, old man.
The league had it right. The league had it right when they made that initial playoff change. That idea that each team could conceivably get that a touchdown wins the game. Right? Because the whole idea of it is you're supposed to score a touchdown. Right. And then getting the ball, maybe moving 30 yards, kicking a long field goal, right, isn't the best case for a team, being able to win, especially let's say a team has struggled offensively and they finally get it right. The first rule change 4 years ago to give each team a possession, unless a touchdown was scored, I felt like was the ideal balance for the professional game. Because again, we talking about Sundays, we talking about the NFL. We talking about
Thank you. Ho. Can you say that word again?
We're talking about the NFL, the
professional,
the best of the best in the world. They don't need to have the handicap rules that we would give to a CYO team.
Thank you. I said that when we talked about the last time.
They already have those rules. They've already made a number of rule changes that cater to offense, which is why you see the ballooning.
And here's another one.
So then why would you cater to the offense yet again by way of a coin toss?
Okay,
you don't cater to the offense by way of a coin toss.
Absolutely you do.
No, you don't.
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Hey,
hold on. Let me ask you this. No. Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
Who is it?
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. If I don't know how many there being, I'm just gonna throw a number out here. If the NFL has made 7 rule changes in the last however many years, how many of them were for the defense?
That last one?
Which one?
You apparently you didn't hear the court. Let me repeat the question. I said if the NFL has made 7, if the NFL has made 7 rule changes, how many of them have been in favor of the defense?
None.
At least one.
Which one?
So
no.
I think you could challenge like pass interference and stuff like that.
No,
like
you can't. Since when?
Cannot.
No, you cannot.
It back.
You can't challenge. You can't.
When did they change it for?
Yeah. There's not a single defensive.
0. Thank you, Mr. Alba.
Thank you. Yeah. There's not a single rule change to help
the defense.
Right.
So
the only thing the only defensive rule change I seen, it came up, and guess what? The college players did it. When that kid did that fake slide and ended up going scoring a touchdown.
Thank you.
Good one. They immediately went back and said, "No, you can't fake slide no more." That was the first time.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's play off of that then.
Okay.
All right, so they've made those changes, all of which favored the offense or catered to the offense.
Mm-hmm.
So you're telling me right now that offensively versus defense is 50-50. It is even?
How is it even? And I just said, hold on. I said
that's the whole point of the rule change. This rule
Thank you, man.
It evens it up.
No, it does not.
Yes, it does.
The offense got the advantage.
They only did it because you can't hit, you can't tackle, you can't.
So how is that? Hold on. So hold on. How is that evening it up? If I said the last, how many rule changes?
Because it gives the other team's offense a equal chance at going and doing.
So then that's not 50-50.
Yes, it is. We both get an opportunity to do the exact same thing. Now,
hold on. So who gets the opportunity? The defense or offense? Okay, that's what I'm talking about. The offense.
Now they do, but prior to they didn't.
That's okay. But my contention is that it's okay because when you gave a team right,
I don't want my fate being decided by a coin flip.
Me either. It ain't got nothing to do with football.
Double J.
Hold on, Gully. Hold on. After the coin flip, who got the ball?
The offense.
Nobody defers.
No.
Are you out of your mind? Nobody defers.
After the coin flip, who had the ball? KC or Cincinnati?
You talking about one game, man.
It don't matter. Listen. Don't move the goalpost. We're not talking whether it's one game
or
not.
Moving it. You talking about one game
because they made the rule after this. They made the rule
one example out of the 32 times that it happened.
Okay.
Wait. Hold on, Double J, because you good with the numbers. Since the rule change of 2018, the rule change that gives both teams a possession, gives both teams a possession whenever there's a field goal involved. How many times has the team with the possession first won the game? Do you know that?
Good question.
So in general,
since 2018, I keep saying 2018. No.
And we're gonna let Brother Rich weigh in after this.
I like to listen to y'all explain the technicalities of this thing.
Okay, got you.
I deal from a common sense point of view.
Okay, got you.
So, all right, here of the 163 total overtime games.
When you say total, how many? Since what date? Total
since when?
In NFL history.
So the only playoff team to lose after winning the overtime coin toss is the Saints, losing to the Rams in 2018. Of those 10 games won by the team that won the coin toss, Oh man, 7 of them, and I just lost it from the stat side. Shoot. All right, bear with me. 7 of those squads won a walk-off touchdown on the opening drive. There you go.
Advantage offense.
Additionally,
that's what I'm trying to. Oh my God, that's what I'm saying. Did you just say advantage offense?
That's for the coin flip.
But it's an offensive game. Wouldn't you say that the the NBA has done nothing but the exact same thing?
Oh my God! Yeah,
how would you say
name the last offensive rule change that benefited the defense?
First of all, you see where the quality of the game is went.
Thank you. That was going there next.
Yeah, but so where was the quality of the game now? Prior to, because we knew it was BS. I won the coin toss. This game is over.
Just like this one is BS.
When I discovered that if I press B 7 times and hold BC and up, when I'm playing NBA Jam before the start of the contest, I'm on Power Up Fire. I can score from anywhere. I stopped playing the game because I could beat everybody. Because there was no defense that could stop me. When we have more offensive scoring fest, what do we see? We see an era of a game where a guy like Andre Iguodala could conceivably give this level of production and play for another 5 years.
Look at the dude in the Clippers the other night.
Listen,
Gully, when you playing that Techno Bowl thing, the Buffalo win?
That's so disrespectful.
Yeah, you know what they do? They do the Buffalo Bisons win.
So
okay, but guess what though? Double J, to your point though, speaking of the NBA, that's why they just made the rule change last year about when jumpers you can't kick your leg out or whatever it is, because it gives some onus to the defense. You have to give something back to the defense. That's why my original question still stands. I don't know the numbers like you do, but go back since I don't know how many rule changes the NFL has made in the last 10 years. Matter of fact, the last 5 years. But go back and look at all of the rule changes the NFL has made in this span of time and tell me, when have they made a rule change that's in favor of the defense?
I don't understand the point that you are that you are arguing, because it favors both offenses. That's the point that we're making here. The difference
offenses to be favored.
It ain't about
Thank you, Mr. Alba. It's an NFL offense game now. The league is made to entertain. It was boring back in days of Giants Super Bowl or Bears had no offense. Thank you, Mr. Alba. And I'm glad he said that, because remember that Super Bowl that the Rams just played in with Jared Goff?
Mm-hmm. The defense won the game.
Nobody, but the score, what was the score? 9-5, or some years ago when Tampa Bay played the Rams, what was the score? 11-9. Nobody wants to see.
Is this a surprise? I mean, look at Major League Baseball. They've tanked since chicks dig the long ball. They want more runs. They want
Thank
more
you, Mr. Albert. Exactly.
So look at the NHL. They widen the net. I mean, come on now.
Exactly.
This isn't brand new. What are we at?
The influence or the enhance the offense. That's fine. But what we're saying is, at some point, we like defensive stops, right?
That's what I'm saying.
All right, what is the most memorable play of the last decade, of the last 10 years in the Super Bowl?
The defensive play on the Seahawks when they intercepted the ball.
Yes, thank you.
But that's what my point is. Y'all saying that offense get all the advantage, but every Super Bowl I see the defense win the game every year.
We're talking about the overtime rule change.
I'm just letting y'all know it ain't that how y'all think it is. The defense ends up winning the Super Bowl.
We're talking about the offense. We're talking about the overtime rule change and who it's in favor of.
Then we're going to stop paying defensive players then. If based on
they can do that now.
I'm saying my suggestion.
Hey, I tell you what, you won't find no defensive player getting no $230 million contract, and I ain't mad at Deshaun Watson because the Browns done set the bar with the whole thing. But you ain't gonna find Aaron Donald getting.
They're about to draft Aiden Hutchinson potentially is number 1 overall.
Who is?
Jacksonville.
Okay.
Yeah, because they got their franchise quarterback. If they didn't have Trevor Lawrence, they wouldn't be drafting Hutchinson. They can do that now.
Trade out then? Why would you not trade out?
What do you mean?
If it's apples to oranges, as you're indicating, why in the world would you ever commit? Because remember, it's not just picking someone first. in that role, you are you're required to pay someone a certain value, a certain set of values in terms
offensive
of
skill. Offensive players get way more money than defensive players.
No, look at what was it? Mario Williams that got like $100 million in 2005.
Okay, well then let me restate that then. How many offensive players do you
J.J.
know
Watt,
of compared to
Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald, the list, Jalen Ramsey? Come on, man.
Right now show me the show me the list. What you mean? It's almost even. Man, come in and cut it out, man.
The only thing
it's
is
not
odd
even.
is the quarterback. The quarterback gets paid more than everybody.
Okay, show me the list of offensive players, receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks compared to the defensive players.
It's not going to be that different. It's only quarterbacks.
Yeah, because running backs don't get paid.
I said offensive players. Period.
You could, but
you'll find $100 million lineman
paid differently
on both sides of the ball.
I don't care about the exact number. I said, show me the list of offensive players who got paid, whatever you think that number is. I'm just talking about general.
Hey, Barbershop
versus the defensive players that got paid.
Barbershop, if you X out the quarterbacks,
no, we're not ifing.
Getting paid more money.
We're not ifing.
So y'all gonna get all the offensive tackle contracts that we get. You're gonna just overlook all those.
That's what I'm saying, man. Stop what ifing.
Guys,
if the lady across the street had a mustache, she'd be somebody's uncle. We're talking about things that actually happened, not things that could happen or might happen.
I think we're arguing against ourselves because the reality is what the columns or the commentators have said, what Double J is pointing out. The reality is this is business. This is about offense. They want offense and they want to see high-powered football.
Okay.
So the reality is every move is going to be just like we know in the NBA. They got
hand
checking.
That's all I'm saying.
They don't want you playing that kind of up on a person defense because the scoring was too low. So they want to
hold. No, they were doing was holding because they couldn't move their feet.
No.
Oh, man, man. Stop it, man. Come on now.
In basketball, before all this nonsense, you could hold in basketball. You could hold when your guy's running by, we hold your little shirt or we do little thing. That's just the game of basketball. It's on you. Listen to what, excuse me, a player who used to play for the Los Angeles Lakers. He's my personal GOAT. He said that
LeBron James.
Excuse me.
LeBron James?
No, sir. But he said,
ain't nobody got time for that.
Kobe said when people would grab his jersey, people did that. They grab it, and you got to know how to hit their hand and knock their hand off.
Yes.
That's a part of the game. So that's defense. You don't just let somebody like Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan destroy you. You don't do that. These guys are not shooting 30 footers. Of course they did, because you can't stop them. That's the point. That's what makes them so great. That's why we talk about Mamba mentality, and not missing free throws and going to the Super Bowl 4 times
and playing through injuries.
Mamba mentality,
playing through injuries. Yeah. Let me mention a few more. Let me mention a few more things.
Hold on. No.
Huh? What?
No.
I got payroll by
you said, hold on, because I told you at work and you still said it on the program.
What'd I say?
It said something about playing through injuries. Now, how many times my boy LeBron played with a broken nose with a mask on?
You mean
cramps? I give him credit for that. He played. He does.
Leg cramps.
How many times he rolled his ankle with other players and be out the game, out for weeks?
How many times?
So don't try to say he's still young and he feel like he used to. Come on.
Oh, man, please. What'd you say, Gully? What'd you say?
I'm just saying, like, listen, he's 6'9", 280. That's all I got to say.
Okay, got you. Yeah, let me mention a few other rule changes here that the NFL is doing. And by the way, the overtime rule changes for the postseason only. Imagine that. I wonder why. Exactly. Because if you're really trying to make rule changes that's 50-50, then do it for the whole doggone season. They're doing it for the postseason.
They're not going to do that because it'll make the game go too long.
Hello, thank you. Come on, man. It's calculated. That's a terrible pick. That's a terrible number 1 pick. Hutchinson will be a bust, not the size for NFL. Yeah, I've heard other people say that too, Mr. Alba. That was a good point. Yeah.
Just like they saying about Dwight Freeney and Aaron Donald. They not the
Bill
size.
Laimbeer played more games with a mask. Yeah. I'm with you on that one too, Mr. Alba. Yeah. Here come a few other.
Hold on. Put that comment back up, bro. Man.
Don't do that. Yeah, that's right. Nothing to say.
Bill Laimbeer was a dirty player, but he played with that mask. Now, how about Rip Hamilton?
Oh, that's another.
He on the real with a mask. So
he played the whole season like that.
A few other
broke his nose and liked it and kept the mask on.
A few other changes the NFL has made. It requires teams now to hire women or minorities as coaches for the 2022 season. Specifically speaking, just for some detail, all 32 teams must employ a female or a member of an ethnic or racial minority as an offensive assistant. Candidates must have at least 3 years of collegiate or professional experience in coaching. Those persons will receive a 1-year contract with salary and benefits.
Hey, Double J about to blow a gasket, bro.
For their roles, the NFL will reimburse teams up to $200,000 in 2022 and $205,000 in 2023. And according to league data, the percentage of people of color in coaching positions increased from 35% in 2020 to 39% in 2021. Brother Rich, weigh in on that.
Wow. Political correctness going awry.
Exactly.
They're forcing the NFL to do the right quote unquote thing.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mr. Alba.
And here's the issue. And I know I'm gonna get drugged by some of the listeners for this. This is not against women. What this is pointing to, though, is this comes about because of the lack of black males on the sideline. So I find it ironic that when they decide, okay, we got to do better with this, what they do is now give you an affirmative action understanding that, okay, so now what teams will do, they can find a woman, a gay woman, and they fill the position. They can find some college coach and bring him up on the sideline. But what's the arc where these people can rise? How is Deion Sanders not involved with the NFL? We saw how are these some of these people who have played and contributed, who want to contribute to the NFL, they're not allowed to be involved in the NFL. So while this is a good step, I don't know how much we're gonna get out of it.
They still aren't doing it because they're still not doing it right. They're still not doing it right. Look, this to me is just like the History Month thing. Is that I don't want a History Month. Because what does that make every other month of the year? Right? Okay.
White History Month.
Cut me in at the real opportunities when it comes to academies. You hear coaching trees all the time. You hear all these other things, but don't look. If anybody's benefited from minority type of handouts, as I'm going to call it, like this, it's been women. And statistically speaking, it's been women. So again, that's not going. That is a Band-Aid on a jugular. You're not actually addressing it.
Not at all.
So I'm tired of the good PR pandering bull hit. It's do the right things in getting people into the front office roles with some kind of true actual something wherever the NFL's headquarters is should have somewhere for development, professional development when it comes to those same groups that they're claiming that they're attempting to do better with. Because
do something
in all actuality, you ain't.
Do something substantive instead of just for show. Gully, what are you going to weigh in?
Who's making the requirement?
The NFL.
Roger Goodell.
Yeah.
But
NFL.
Where did the mandate come from? We know who the mandate is to, but who created the mandate?
It didn't say.
The NFL did.
Okay, well, yeah. I mean,
so the group of owners that don't hire black coaches.
That's exactly what we're talking about. Yeah,
is saying we gotta hire black.
No, they're not. The person they put in charge, their manager.
Yeah,
is the one who said
Goodell said this.
Okay, so
the owners will never acknowledge that because the owners wrote them. This is all in response to Flores.
The owners wrote the joke, but Roger Goodell went out and told him. Okay, I get it. I get it.
What I'm saying is, what this should definitely say. Again, it should underscore. If we really want to see movement, we really have to see.
That's right.
That's it. So
the key, shout out to Mr. Alva. It's time to have 50% minority owners of all sports.
the kid, what does it take to get a non-white owner, or actually, because you know what, I'm sorry, because the Jaguars owner is not white. What does it take to get an African American or otherwise?
Well, then look at the wealth gap. Now you're talking about something statistically way bigger.
But no, I'm saying I asked why not.
Minorities are there?
But I didn't
because
ask
they ain't
why
gonna
not.
let them in because they don't have a big enough bank when it comes to that 0.1%. That's a whole different issue.
Well, that's why I asked. What does it take?
You're talking about 50 years of economics that have shown that the wealth gap is only growing even greater.
Well, we got Michael Jordan to own the NBA franchise.
And you know what? I'm cool with that. When you get a bucket of fish and one jumps out, you ain't diving for it. I'm cool with that. I got the the majority of them.
But that's what I'm saying. Ultimately, I'm saying this ring is hollow. And I know I had conversations with
D Gully.
Yeah.
You gotta get some expansion team because you're not gonna get it through the teams that is currently there.
Well, to address that wealth gap, the wealth gap that is the problem, Double J. Right, we got to push for expansion, and we have to have minorities or African Americans that are ready for ownership of a new franchise. Because the price tag for existing franchises will go up. You know, they call it, you know, the black tax, if you will. Certainly. But that's what I'm saying. That's what it would
Gully,
take.
that's why I say it has to be expansion teams. It can't
Yeah,
be
you're absolutely
it
right.
can't be nobody selling the team. It has to be expansion team so it can be affordable for the people, the black, the colored people to buy the team.
So
if you have a selling it for $4 billion,
look what happened to the KG and Alex Rodriguez trying to get the Timberwolves.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. It got to be expansion.
You could qualify, and they still will say no.
Oh yeah, of course. Now,
if
you ever seen that video on the generational wealth gap? You ever seen that video about the roadblocks or whatever? Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Yeah, come on now. Yeah.
If you think about it, expansion team, you say only minority owners could be owners of this team, just like Green Bay people have to live in Green Bay, right? They have to live in Wisconsin or something like that.
Right. Yeah, but look at their checks that they get. It's like 6 cents.
I'm just saying, I don't care what they get. I'm just saying,
right. Yeah, they don't care. They don't care as long as they own they saying that they own the.
Oh yeah, did y'all just get that update though? What with Washington?
No, what's to fill us in?
They were stealing money. You know how you got the collective bargaining? They
We talk
like 40% of your revenue. They were stealing money. You know, they still investigating that team. So
yeah, and then they should investigate it till the wheels fall off. To tell you the truth. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, man, we're gonna see the overtime rules. It's gonna be real interesting, especially with the 17-game regular season and the whole.
Wait till another franchise quarterback. Wait until another poster boy don't get a chance because this team didn't get a second.
Yeah, exactly. That's my.
And they're gonna make a 10-minute quarter.
They're gonna make another
3 years from now because Patrick
you.
Mahomes didn't get a second touchdown after a penalty on his first drive. Man, listen.
Thank you. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, think about it. Let's go back. Why is it that the postseason got changed the first time to give each team a possession? You know why? Because everyone's favorite
stats were even more lopsided.
No, there wasn't, because everyone's favorite quarterback messed it up in Minnesota versus the Saints. That's why we got the overtime rule changed the first time. Because Brett Favre got picked off.
Yeah, by Tracy Porter. Yes, man. Come on now. The NFL wasn't trying to do nothing right or wrong. Or
hey, listen, I'm glad they changed. I don't care if y'all mad.
Mr. Alva, ain't nobody mad. I
wasn't mad at that, but I'm just saying the idea of it is both teams get a possession, and touchdowns is what we're looking for, right? I thought we wanted touchdowns, right?
Listen though, how many Super Bowls did your boy Tom Brady win off them dango field goals?
A lot.
What the?
Those was in regulation. Those were all in the regulation.
Was it?
Yeah,
because the one postseason possession he had, he scored a touchdown.
Yeah, so we talking about overtime.
Okay, I gotta look that up. Make sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mr. Alva weighing in again. Exactly.
I can send you the link if you want to, because I got it right up here right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and just tweet this out.
Go ahead and throw that up there. Yeah, Mr. Alva, exactly. You will not get through NFL or any established sports. We work for them or to entertain, never vice versa. Hey, man, come on, man. Man, Mr. Alva, we coming with the quick hitters, baby. I'm trying to tell you. That's all I'm saying, man. I tell you what, with this overtime rule, everybody gets the opportunity now. Guess what? Man, all them fantasy owners out there, boy, they licking their chops, parlays,
yes, sir.
He's mad about the fantasy owners getting a little opportunity. Grandpa.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course he is.
FanDuel and draft. And so in other words, I don't know what happened, my man Gully. I wish you, Gully, if you're still there, come on back. Yeah, that's what that is. Anywho, our last segment of the day, or our last topic of the day. Oh, there he is. My bad. Yep. Okay. All right. Yeah, we got him back. Yeah. So I mean, at the end of the day, man, this overtime rule change. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I think.
You gonna love it when your Cowboys benefit from it.
Right.
I'm not gonna love nothing because I don't own no jerseys.
The game would have been over, and Dak would have been a winner.
Listen. Hey. Let me. Let me fix my glasses so I can hear what y'all really saying. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, I don't wear no other man's name on the back of my jersey. It ain't that serious for me. You know what I mean? I it's entertainment. And I take entertainment like they giving it all these sports nowadays at face value. Once it's over with, I get up and go feed the kids oatmeal. Yeah, believe me when I tell you. Moving right along for our last one of the day. What he said. And the he in this case is Deion Sanders. Now, we already know, or should I say, excuse me, we all remember when Deion was hospitalized, right? Yeah, okay. But just to add a little more detail to this, because I didn't hear this, the stories I read or stories I've seen or whatnot. We all know, of course, he dislocated his toe along with, he had an inflamed nerve. As he healed, his toes began to darken under the bandages. Did you all know that?
No.
Okay. Here's what he said. They were talking about amputation of the toes, Sanders said. Then they were talking about the amputation of my leg from the knee down. Did you all know that?
Yeah.
Then they were, he said, and then they were talking about trying to ensure I had life. After undergoing several surgeries, he developed a femoral arterial, ATERIAL, blood clot. He had also had compartment syndrome, which meant his leg swelled, and doctors had to flay open his leg to drain fluid. Sanders later had his left foot's big toe and second toe amputated. Did you all know that?
Yeah, I knew that part. I thought he had sugar or something.
No, man, I didn't know.
I just didn't do no research. My bad on that part.
No, it ain't nothing. That's what we're here for. That's why I take notes. The joke's not on me. That's why I take notes. But anyway,
he's got a chisel and scribe in case he runs out of lead on his pencil.
Oh, so you on their side now? So you with them now? Okay. All right. I see where this is going. It's always never, no matter who's on the platform or program, it always was. As we get towards the end, they always seem to be on TJ, Double J, and Brother Richard's side, whoever else that joins us. But it's all good though, because guess what?
Ain't nobody got time for that.
And I ain't paying y'all no mind right now. Yeah, but at the end of the day, man, I'm glad to see Sanders is still alive and well and kicking and whatnot, man. But I didn't know that he had this situation to that degree with his toes and the amputation. He said at one point, man, but you see how fast though your health can go from this to that, you know what I mean, in an instance, man, you know what I mean? So
listen, you better watch them jokes you say about people's wives. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
What joke did I say? What joke did I say? You know, as you can look in my face and see that I'm not joking, but you was cracking up funny. Oh, my bad. Oh, wow. Yeah, this was an interesting show today. I'm just glad he's still here, man, because at the end of the day, man, tomorrow's never promised to any of us, and, each time we get to see a new day, I hope we all try to make a new way, man, because I'm telling you, I've been going through the ringer, but I'm glad my man Deion is doing his one, too. And shout out to him and JSU for whatever it is they doing down there.
Yeah. That's why I was gonna say. I think he's doing like you said, he's supposed to be in the NFL. I was gonna say earlier that I think he's doing a better job being in the HBCU. Like I think he can have more impact down there.
I totally agree with you. That's why I love it. We said on the program. I love that. Yeah, absolutely.
But you know what? Let me ask you all this question. We'll go around the room one time before we get out of here. TJ, we'll stay with you. Do you think he wants to go to the NFL now, especially now that
I think now, to be honest, that's prime, dog. I think he can get a job for any team he wants to. I don't think.
Well, I know that. I'm saying, do you think he wants to go?
I don't know. Maybe he did, but maybe I think he might like that HBCU that he had. Yeah. They just got a whole new facility he was showing off today on Instagram.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. And you know, it's not just for Jackson State, man. He's doing it for the whole league.
Yeah, like the whole system.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, his impact. And he may, like you said, maybe in the beginning he might have, but now he's seeing just where, you know, his impact, you know what I mean, could have towards he's looking at the future now, maybe.
Football right now. Deion.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
All the schools. Yeah. And he's encouraged some of the other schools. I believe Grambling just made another hire of somebody using
to be honest, I wish Randy Moss and other great players, black players who would go back and do that same thing. Like, all you gotta do is build you a staff, a little coaching, you know.
Yeah.
They know the game.
Eddie George is at what, Tennessee State?
Some school. I know he's somewhere.
Yeah. He's doing his 1-2-2. Double J, what say you, man? You think Deion? Oh, my bad, brother Rich. You think Deion would want to go to the? No, you don't think so?
I agree with you. I think he wanted to go, but I think he doesn't want to go now. Except for the right job, like when Dallas called.
Okay.
The Falcons.
Oh man.
Or the Bills.
Oh my God.
The Browns when they call.
Okay.
Yeah. Exactly. We know that won't happen. Double J, what do you think? You think Deion wants to go to the NFL, or he cool where he at?
No, he recognizes that, especially after a lot of the comments came in that when some of these high profile recruits left from Florida State, that they wouldn't get, you know, X, Y, and Z from going to an HBCU, and more so trying to revitalize and put it, get it back into the national spotlight like it was, you know, historically. I always felt that someone should do it from the basketball side of things, because I always believed that would be quicker, because there, you know, you only need a handful of you know, elite players. But in his case, now he's broken in, he's crashed the party when it comes to multiple years of recruiting classes. And so the concerning part that I have is ultimately somebody's going to have to play ball. Somebody's going to have to roll the dice and say, because again, when you think of these early weeks, these non-conference things, you're generally looking for tune-up games. You're not looking for a real formidable opponent that on top of that, you have to write them a check, a big one that supports the, you know, gives them, you know, puts them back in financial life support. And so does that program get, you know, alienated because of the fact they realize the impact he's having? And so there is some large concern on my end. And then the easiest way, I'm sure, you know, if I were colluding against this, that somebody, hey, needs to pay this guy to get him out of there so things go back to the way that they were. So if I'm Deion Sanders, I have to stay here, because if not him, then who?
Right.
Good point. Gully, what say you? You think Deion?
No, I don't think at this time. Much to what you guys have said, his impact over the game of football is what he's looking at, probably over the pro game as well. I'm gonna say it. His impact over the game of football is larger right now. What he's doing, he's disrupting the way colleges treat players, particularly talented Black athletes, and then in also doing so, creating a culture of excellence, of expectation of greatness within the HBCU. It's challenging the traditional colleges, is challenging the NCAA. And then because these guys are becoming talented from a minority coach, it's disrupting what you may think about those same talents when they go to the NFL. They're game ready. They're ready to be elite because they're trained by a Hall of Famer, the best cornerback arguably in history, someone who also not only is smart on the field, but he's also had enough. He's had enough of a storied career of lessons to be learned off the field that he's giving these guys. He's making these guys, or he's influencing these guys to become better talent and better men, and that's disrupting the game in a positive way. I think he's good.
Didn't he make some mention about top recruits are not going to D1 schools like they used to?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, he did. He said something to that effect, and I thought that was very, very, very pointedly, so to speak. Double J.
Just to piggyback on some of these points here, that he's also highlighted and emphasized who didn't show up to their pro days.
Yeah.
So he's not making any friends in that respect.
That's a good point.
And truthfully, I actually seen Purdue kind of do the exact same thing after that. They followed his lead.
Oh wow!
You had to do that. You had to.
Nobody got time for that. I thought that was noteworthy.
Oh wow!
That he inspired another university to take a similar stance.
Oh wow!
Your team went home, Double J. It's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about hoops. And you know what? If we are talking about hoops, Fletcher Lawyer just won the high school 3-point shootout, and then of course Stefanovic was there on the college side.
Okay,
so,
holler at me when they win the reverse pivot shootout. Boy, that's all.
Then taking it a step further, he's also challenging lawmakers. We've talked. I brought up earlier in the show the albeit in a cynical way, with the amount of public funding that is going to the Buffalo Bills new stadium. We know the amount that went to SoFi and some of these more recent projects, but he's now asking for it for them, and I want to see that same energy that they've given to other public entities historically. And so, even though we're seeing new locker rooms and those things, I love that he is pushing these buttons, and he's really risking a lot more than some toes, folks. He, in my opinion, is risking way more than Will Smith did with slapping Chris Rock.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm not going to even hit a button on that. Yes, I will.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Fellas, good stuff. And on that note, it's been fun, but we got to run. We appreciate y'all for listening. Don't forget to check us out right here on the StreamYard Sundays at 9 on the PM side. I want to give a special shout out to my man D Gully for joining us. You know what I'm saying? Or y'all can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Insta, Golden Gram, and wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts, as well as the shop's Facebook fan page. And if you would be so kind as to subscribe, to our YouTube channel, we, of course, would be much obliged. And if that don't work, Google it. For my man's Double J, Be Rich, Doc, who's not with us, but we'll give him another shout out for his birthday.
Happy birthday.
D Gully and Speaker for the, I can't spell that. What's that say? The Ginkling, Ginkg. Yeah.
That's your lenses, man.
Look down phonics. Yeah, right. Send to subscription to the Shop Report 365 at gmail.com along with all hate mail.
I was being cynical. Anywho.
Go Cowboys.
And all those who follow and support us, well, I'm not going to even respond to that.
Cattle.
We say thank you. I'm Barbershop Jay. You've been listening to the Shop Report. And remember, the next time y'all want to know what's really going on, man, come to the shop. Walk-ins always welcome. Holla.